Welcome to yet another episode of Wargame Red Dragon deck building for Bluefor side. Alright, excuse me. And first of all, I want to apologize that we haven't pushed out a video for this for quite a while. We have been busy on a lot of things with game developers as well as mod developers for Twitch. It's been hectic and crazy lately, so I apologize for that, but we're finally getting into this. This is episode number 5, the Recon side. This means that we're almost halfway through. And let's get started. Alright, so let's make a test deck. If you use the nationality, you'll get extra prototype Recons, which are always better than that. We're not going to do this for this trailer. So let's go to the Recon side. There are a couple of different kind of Recons, which are helicopters, vehicles, and infantry, and the infantry comes in either helicopters or moving vehicles. That's pretty much it. The main things that we want to check up are, of course, the optics, because that's what Recon is all about, the optics. We're gonna start off with the helicopter. We've got the squirrel here, a very good squirrel. We're gonna see its optics, its speed. For helicopters, that's very important. You want to get the Recon helicopter as fast as possible. Its anatomy, and the reason why the optics are very important is the better the optics are, the further you can get it away from it, and it's less vulnerable to anti-air. So the squirrel, we see for 55 points we get optics very good. Anatomy is 680. Let me see. Yeah, I get a Steam message over here, but that's okay. So that's all fine and dandy. Let's compare it to the Cobra. The American Cobra actually has weapons, which the Australian squirrel doesn't have, and that might actually be handy. So what does it have on optics? It's good. So it's a nerf down on the optics. Its speed is 280 kilometers, and the rest doesn't matter that much. We have 40mm frag rounds 100 times and 120 times. The range on it is quite okay. The accuracy is downright crap. HE power and the suppression are quite okay as well. Then we've got Hydra missiles with an accuracy of 20%, which is pretty okay. Decent enough at least to do some damage. And of course the 70mm rockets times 14. Alright, with the accuracy of 15. So this Cobra definitely wins it from the squirrel. For 40 points we're getting the Alouette 3. The Alouette 3 is very good as well. It's got 50 points cheaper. It's a lot slower, as you can see. That's kind of weird compared to the Cobra, since it's loading all the weapons. But anyway, that doesn't matter that much. Is the stealth on this better, by the way, as well? No, the stealth is poor and the stealth is here poor as well. The optics is very good, so that's always a plus side, but it does not win from the Cobra. I'd much rather have something that can shoot back and actually has a chance for survival. Unless the points say otherwise, I'm content with the Cobra. Of course, if you have a different opinion, you can do so. For 50 points you have the Bell, 206 Bell. Again, from Australia. It only has a M134 minigun. It has an accuracy of 20%. Its optics are very good. But let's face it, this minigun, even though the optics are very good, you can't run this against any anti-air. So, in all honesty, for 5 points more, I would rather have the Cobra than I would have the Bell. Side of that, the speed is slower as well, if I'm correct. It's just the Cobra, the good optics is just busting me a little bit. But okay, never mind. For 45 points, we have the BL105M VBH. Very good optics. It's reasonably fast. And for the rest, you know how the drill works. Not that important, doesn't have any weapons, so yeah, for 45 points, 10 points less than the Cobra. It's got better optics, at least, but nah. For 45 points we have the Cayuse as well. There's a difference between the two. Very good and good. Okay, so the Cayuse is better. The Cayuse doesn't have any weapons though. It's got optics very good, and it's 10 points or 5 points cheaper, or 10 points more expensive than the Cobra is. And the Cobra still wins it for me again. If you would like to have another option, then by sure all means. I think the CH-136 is the same as the Bell though. Very good optics with the minigun, again 20%. So, and I already established that the Bell wouldn't make it against the Cobra, so I'll go with the Cobra instead. That's also because I use assault purposes with my whole helicopter as well, and having a Recon that can actually fire as well isn't a good option. So, the Gazelle. The Gazelle's being used a lot by players. It's a 20mm round times 240. Its optics are again good. It's 30 points, so it's 15 points. Do I say that right? 15 points is 45. 25 points cheaper than the Cobra. Its accuracy is only 15% though, so if it's actually a good option, I wouldn't recommend it simply because of the optics, and for that weapon ton you can get better than that. Then we got the Gazelle 75 points, and this one is being used a lot. Why? Because of the snap. The snap has 30% accuracy, does tremendously a lot of damage, and it's got 12 rockets with them. Side of that, the optics are exceptional, and this is what you want to have. If I would have to choose between the Gazelle with exceptional optics and a speed of 310 just for Recon, I would definitely take the Gazelle and win from the Cobra. If you can spend the 10 points more, yes, hell yeah, take the Gazelle H1A1 snap. They're definitely worth it, and they win it from the Cobra. So the Cobra, I'm sorry buddy, but the British Gazelle does better. We've got the Swedish HKP G6A with very good optics, 220 average speed, but for these kind of points you can get the Bell with a gun on it, so nah, sorry Sweden, that's definitely a lousy helicopter. And I think underneath here we got a couple as well. The Kiowa, the American Kiowa, which has Hellfire missiles. Now this is actually optional. If you look at the Kiowa here, it's got an Browning and Fafars. But the accuracy on the Fafars are only 50%. The accuracy on the Browning is quite okay, and it still gets exceptional speed or exceptional optics. Will the Kiowa win it from the Gazelle Snap? For 5 points less, yeah. I would say the Kiowa would definitely be a better option. If you have the points to spend it, Hellfire missiles take out with a 70% accuracy one shot on the anti-air. If you can get it into range and shoot the anti-air before it shoots you, then it already paid out its cost. If not, it's a 100 point waste. For now, the OH-58D with the Fafars wins it from the Gazelle. Korean 06, very good, 260 kilometers, quite fast for a small helicopter like that, but no, doesn't win it from the Kiowa. And that same counts for the Fafars on the Japanese OA-6D. Still the same speed, the optics are actually nerfed badly, so it is a Recon helicopter. And for that point I would rather have the Cobra than this one. Let's see what else do we have. That was it. So basically, best helicopter out of range, point wise as well as weapon wise, is the OH-58D Kiowa. You got Fafar missiles, you got your Browning, it's got exceptional optics, its speed is reasonable, and that's all you want out of a Recon helicopter. So the Kiowa wins it. Next up, I think it's the vehicle's turn. Yeah, it's the vehicle's turn. I'm gonna take all the weapons out of it. I already said once that the AMX-10 RC is the best one. It actually isn't anymore. Its size is medium, its optics are good. But I can stroll you all around on what kind of vehicles would be a better option. As you can see, some vehicles have different kind of weapons on it, including 76mm heat rounds times 25. You got the Fox, which has a minigun or Warden on it. In the end, I can spare you and me a lot of time and trouble into it, because at the end some of the things do matter. Your optics do matter, your armor does matter because you want to have your Recon survive as much as possible, the weapons on it matter, and of course the anatomy and the speed. If you look at the Humvee for instance, it's got average to bad optics. It's got no armor, it's got a 40mm frag round which is basically used against infantry. In the end, if you have the points to spend, I would definitely use these kind of things. The one thing I chose out of everything, because this is definitely one of the better ones, is whether it's amphibious or not. Red Dragon involves a lot on driving through the water as well. If you want to have it amphibious, you don't want to drive around the bridge where it's constantly fired at. You want to use the water for cover as well. As you can see, the armor on it is quite good. I'm a very big fan of the Bradley, however. I use that one a lot since it's very effective with the Bushmaster against infantry. And it's got Shalkos missiles times 12, so it can take out light armory as well. However, it's not amphibious. It's got quite reasonable armor though. If you have the 90 points to spend, it's definitely worth it. However, it's not the best one. Well, Ark, what is the best one? I'll show you guys. I'm gonna have to find it. As you can see, we got here RH202. It's amphibious again. It's got quite some armor, but yet again, is the Leopard a better option then? No, the Leopard is not a good option simply it's not amphibious. Its optics are poor. It does have, however, have a lot of armor and it has a lot of guns, but would you rather spend 30 points for a cheap tank or for a Recon tank? I wouldn't do it. LAV 25 Scout, love it, absolutely love it. Doesn't have a lot of armor though, but does have the Bushmaster and an M240. So what is the best option then? I'm gonna have to check up here. It wasn't. I think they removed it. Did they remove it? Or did they nerf it? It was a vehicle that had a lot of amphibious. Yeah, no, it is the M5551A1. Its optics are very good. It doesn't have exceptional optics, but it does have a 152mm heat round times 15. Its accuracy on that is 30%, so that's not bad at all. The strength on it is 10. Its stealth is medium, so it's not that bad. It is amphibious. It's got Shalkos times 7 missiles for light infantry, and it's got an M2 Browning, which is good against infantry. The armor on it is quite okay, so it's 222 and 1. Its speed off-road is 70 km an hour, which is reasonably good, as well as 110 km on the road. If you can make it elite, then please do so. The elites on this Recon vehicle are very good. If you don't like to have a tank or something faster that's more anti-infantry than it does anti-light armory, then definitely take the last one on the Bradley. It isn't amphibious, but trust me, the Bradleys are very much worth it. I personally love the Bradley. I use the Bradley in my deck, but the better one is the M551A1s. That's vehicles as far as I can tell. We're gonna wrap this up with the infantry part. Infantry comes in two parts. The reason why I always use Derniers is because they have, as you can see, MG3s. I would like to. What I always do is I drop my units and recall the helicopters back to a central point for transport on both infantry as well as Recon. Stack them all up, make one giant army, and that army I can use to take over another zone. I mean, I already paid the points to drop the unit for it. I already paid the points to drop the Recon unit or the infantry unit. I might as well use the helicopter as well. However, using one helicopter for it is not good enough, so you stack them up with 30 or 40. Fly over a zone, have infantry ready to take over the entire shit. The enemy will be surprised as hell. Again, I can make this a very long tutorial where I can go over each and every unit. I will not, however, I will make this a little bit shorter. There are some couple of them that spring out, and I will go over that. The rest of them are not good enough. What you basically want to look at is how many units do they come with, what is the weapon that they're using, what is the accuracy that they're using, what is the off weapon that they're using. Always use the red ones because they have light armory and anti-armory, and they have a mini-me or something completely different. And you want to have the optics very good. Its stealth is also very important because you want to have them as much as possible concealed. Now, like with the infantry, the Fanspare, the German Fanspare definitely jump out. Why? I'll show you. The Fanspare, however, comes with a TRSP CH53G, which is, I think, a hybrid of the Chinook, but I don't know exactly. I always get them in the Dornier anyway. As you can see, it used the Heckler & Koch G3KA4 with an accuracy of 60%, so that's quite good. The rounds a minute is high enough in order to take a pretty good suppression fire. It has an M72 Law with an accuracy of only 30%. That's kind of a downside on these troops. It comes in a strength of 2. So these troops are definitely not used to assault or engage anything. You just want to have them scout out stuff for you, and if they are in trouble and danger, they can fire back at them. What the upside on the Fanspare is that they have a sniper gun. They have a Heckler & Koch PSG-1, which is a very good gun. A 95% accuracy, AC power of 1, and it shoots 15 rounds a minute. This is definitely the ones why I'm using it, because of the Heckler & Koch PSG-1, the sniper gun. If you want to have something that's a little bit bigger and want to have run an assault with them, then you can go with the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs are still very good. They use the AKMs with an accuracy of 60%. That's 5% slower, but they come in 10 units, which is good. They have an Hawk and MM1, which is a grenade launcher, with an accuracy of 60% as well. So you see already that they have an advantage over the Fanspare over this. They have a stoner with them as well. Why exactly they have that together with the AKM, I don't know. But they have an accuracy of 50% as well. If you look over the entire stats on this, it's pretty good. It's amazingly good. However, the optics are only very good, and the Fanspare had exceptional optics. Their stealth is also only very good. So you want to have these around with your infantry to scout out targets for your infantry and walk together with them. Then we've got the British SES. I'm gonna have to look them up though. They're very good as well. The British SES use a silent variety of the L34A1, which is a World War II leftover. They have only an accuracy of 40%. They do have very good optics and very good stealth. Their offhand is an M2 Law, just like the Fanspare. They come with 10 units. This, however, is sad. And they have the Bren L4, which is a heavy weapon. 30%. It shoots quite low range rounds a minute. Is the SES actually, or the SBS, sorry, better than the Navy SEALs? No, they're not. Unfortunately, they're not. So that brings us to the last one, the South Korean Tuksona, however you pronounce it. They use an carabine M727. They're only 25 points. Very good optics, very good stealth. They come with 10 of them. They use the Carl Gustav, which is better, definitely better than the Law. and they use the mini-me, which is also definitely better. Yeah, the accuracy is 50%, but on top of that they shoot 375 rounds. That's the stealth unit that they want to have. Again, you know, why am I choosing defense power for 2 units to scout out? Well, if you look, for instance, like the Spesur, which have a unit of 5, or the Rangers, US Rangers, which have units of 5, they use M24s and carbines 15s. This is not good enough. Simply, you have 5 of them only. They're shock troopers. I admit that that's quite badass, but I have elites on the fan spy. They're not good enough to assault. They're not good enough to defend themselves when they're actually in the front line trying to scout out stuff, because their optics and their stealth are not good enough. So if you look down at the German fan spy, yes, they only come with 2, but they are elites. Their stealth is exceptional and their optics is very good. You can get them pretty far for that. They're the ultimate scouts for trying to get out command vehicles and try to RT them down. If you can't RT your command vehicle out, then at least you can get them by trying to take them out with the law. If you want to infantry assault with them, then the Navy SEALs are definitely the best ones. Don't get them in the CH-46, always get them in the Twin Huey. Twin Huey is regarding weapons a little bit better than it is with the CH-6 Prague, which actually, is there a difference? 1052 rounds a minute, and this is 1052 rounds a minute as well, if I'm correct. Yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. I don't know what else to add to this. Like I said before, I'm gonna go over it. For the best ultimate option, and let's add them over here. Best helicopter at the moment will be damn, where was it? The OH-58D Kiowa. Why? Simply because of the M2 Browning and the Fafars with quite reasonable accuracy and the speed on it, as well as the exceptional optics. The best vehicle is the American M551A1, simply because it's amphibious. It's got very good optics as well, but the weapons on it are astonishing. If you don't like it, if you don't agree to my choice, you can always take the Bradley as well. The Bradley being a very good option against infantry based decks. And as last, of course, as scouting units, we'll take the German Fanspire. We're not taking them in this helicopter, we're taking them in Dornier 205s. I explained already, I always like to hog up my transport helicopters and try to assault with that on a zone. I'll take that. And if you don't like, if you want to have recon with your infantry assault, so you want to take over a zone with 200 infantry, and you want to have recon attached to that, then take the Navy SEALs. You'll also take them with the Twin Huey. That's the best option that you'll have. And that's pretty much for the recon type. If you want to do tactical battles, then watch your points. The Kiowa is an expensive helicopter. If you want to look after points, the only thing that you should change on this deck is the Kiowa. And the option that you have for that is the British Gazelle. Take the 65 points. It has no weapons, but it has exceptional recon. So take the British Gazelle instead of the Kiowa if you go for tactical deck. That is pretty much it. This is the recon. Next episode 6, if I'm correct, is going to be the vehicle list, which is going to be interesting as well, because there's a lot of stuff going around in that as well, and a lot of players don't like the vehicle list. We're slowly building up towards the Navy. Of course, don't forget to like this video if you like what you see. If you have any comments regarding the deck making on the recon side, then let us know underneath as well. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well. It would help us out. and that's basically why we're doing this for. I will see you next episode, episode 6. I'm Arctomian of Team ProPixel, and until then, ta-ta.